She stood outside a gas station at 2 a.m., barefoot, shaking, clutching her two children as cold wind slapped her face. Behind her, flames lit the sky, her house burning, her past ending. And Angela whispered the words she had practiced for years but never dared to say aloud. "We're never going back." Before the fire, before the bruises, before the years of silence, Angela Brown was the woman everyone admired. Soft-spoken, faithful, always present in church, always smiling. But smiles can lie. And behind her smile lived a story that many women are too afraid to tell. A story of love that turned into fear, faith that turned into confusion, and a journey from pain to power. This is Angela's fight. This is her victory. And the reason she now says, "I didn't survive for myself. I survived so another woman knows she can too." Angela Brown grew up in Birmingham, Alabama, a warm neighborhood where everyone knew your name and every Sunday smelled like cornbread and hair grease. She met Michael at 17. He was charming, funny, the kind of boy who held doors and said, "Yes, ma'am," to elders. Angela thought she had found a blessing. They married young. Michael became a church musician. Angela worked part-time as a home care nurse. Their love was simple at first. But life changes people in ways love cannot fix. Michael lost his job at 29. The pressure ate at him slowly. Bills piled up. Food became a careful calculation. And arguments replaced laughter. Angela tried everything. Encouraging words, late-night prayers, taking extra shifts. But Michael's anger grew like a shadow too big to step around. The first time he hit her, it wasn't a slap. It was a shove. Hard. Cold. Quick. She fell against the counter, breathless. He apologized with tears and flowers the next morning. She believed him because she wanted to. Because love had rules in her mind. Be patient, be supportive, be loyal. And because she was pregnant with their first child. The violence didn't happen regularly at first. It came in waves. One argument too heated, one stressful night, one bottle too many. Michael would break, then cry, then beg. Angela would forgive, then hide her pain behind long sleeves and carefully placed makeup. By the time their second child, Lily, was born, Angela had learned the rhythm of fear. The way Michael's breathing changed before he snapped, the way the house felt heavier on certain days. But she stayed. She stayed because she loved him. She stayed because of the children. She stayed because the church told her to pray harder. She stayed because she believed leaving would mean she failed her marriage. One Sunday morning, after a particularly violent night, Angela walked into church with her lips swollen. The room fell silent for a moment, then filled with forced smiles and quiet whispers. Michael squeezed her hand so tightly that her bones ached. His smile was wide, polished, practiced. Everyone saw the smile. No one saw the warning. Pastor Harris approached her privately after service. He spoke gently. "Angela, are you safe?" Her eyes filled with tears. Her mouth said, "Yes." Her heart said, "Help me." But she wasn't ready. Not yet. The turning point came on a warm July evening. Michael came home angry. A job interview had gone poorly. The moment he walked in, Angela felt the air shift. She ushered the children to their room, whispering, "Mommy's okay. Stay inside. Don't come out." But the house wasn't big. Lily heard the shouting. Jacob heard the crash. And for the first time, Angela saw her son, only 8 years old, step between them, arms wide open, shouting, "Dad, stop. Please stop hurting Mom." Michael froze. Angela froze. And something inside her broke in the most painful but necessary way. She realized the truth she had ignored for years. The children weren't protected. They were surviving just like she was. That night, Angela waited until Michael fell asleep. She grabbed an old bag, threw in a few clothes, woke the children and whispered, "Don't make a sound. We're leaving." But Michael woke up. He stormed into the living room, rage exploding. Angela pushed the kids toward the back door, screaming for them to run. In the chaos, a candle on the table fell and ignited a curtain. Angela grabbed the kids and raced out the door, barefoot, heart pounding. Moments later, flames swallowed the living room. And that's how she ended up at the gas station, shaking, barefoot, watching the life she once prayed for burn. Angela thought escaping would bring instant peace. But survival isn't a straight road. It's a maze filled with fear, paperwork, waiting rooms, shelters, and the haunting question: what if he finds us? She stayed at a women's shelter for 6 weeks, a small facility run by volunteers, painted in soft earth tones meant to make the place feel like home. But nothing felt like home. Not yet. Her children cried at night, afraid of every door slam, every stranger's footsteps. Angela lived on pure prayer and determination. She found work at a local community center and enrolled the children in counseling. She attended support groups where women shared stories so similar to hers it felt like hearing echoes. One night, sitting in a circle of survivors, Angela finally spoke. "My name is Angela, and I want to stop being afraid of my own life." The room clapped softly, not loud enough to scare anyone, just enough to acknowledge her bravery. Slowly she rebuilt. Slowly she healed. Slowly, she remembered who she was before fear became her shadow. She got a small apartment, furnished with donated items. She went back to school at night for medical administration, a dream she had abandoned years ago. The biggest step came when she filed for divorce. Took everything in her, every fear, every tear, every bruise, every prayer. The court granted her full custody. And that day, walking out of the courthouse, Angela whispered, "We're free." Years passed. And Angela did something she never imagined. She started speaking publicly about domestic violence. Churches invited her. Schools, community events, women's shelters. She talked about faith, strength, survival, and the dangerous myth that staying is loyalty. She built a small non-profit called Angela's Light, offering counseling, emergency transport, and safe housing for women escaping abuse. Her story traveled far, not because it was rare, but because too many women saw themselves in her. Today Angela says, "My scars didn't break me. They guided me." Her children, now grown, call her their hero. And every woman she helps is another victory, another life rewritten. She didn't just escape. She transformed. Angela's story reminds us that silence can be deadly, and asking for help is not weakness, it is courage. Love should never hurt. Home should never feel like a battlefield. And healing may take time, but every step forward is a step toward freedom. Angela survived. But more importantly, she now helps others survive too. When love begins to destroy instead of protect, it is no longer love. Choosing yourself, choosing safety, choosing life, that is the bravest decision of all.